What's up, guys, and welcome to Stocks and Coffee with K5 and Fit to Flourish. Today is June 30th. It's a Sunday, and we are going to be talking stocks like we always do on Sundays. So, the first thing I like to start off is with a quote. And the first quote that I wanted to talk about today is, "I can't complain how much was put on my plate when my whole goal was to eat." So this talks about perseverance no matter what, and keeping your eye focused on the goal, because you're the one who wanted to get to that area, and to get there you got to put in the work. You got to eat. Okay. So who are we? We are some investors, really good investors. We got a great team, and we have the best resources in the world in our Discord. We got the best team in the world as well. And let's jump right into our week in review, guys. So in review, we had amazing play calls, as we do every week. So we had calls on Tesla longs. We also had some fades on AMD. And then K5 is going to talk about some of the Google and Tesla plays that they called out this week as well.
Yeah. So we went ahead and we got just on Friday, we were able to catch Google puts and Tesla puts. So we'll first go over Google here. So on Google, on the 5-minute time frame, we were looking at the pre-market as we were going ahead and selling off. We're holding that 45 EMA, getting rejected by it on the 5-minute time frame. So we waited for a push up at market open. We got that push up, but we didn't break the highs in pre-market, so we formed a lower high. This gave me a little bit of confidence, seeing that sellers were stepping in this area, and we were getting some more selling pressure just on that 45 EMA in the beginning of the day, just around it would be 10:20 in the morning. So once we started seeing that selling pressure, we were right at that sell side ATR as well. So we went ahead and we picked up the puts on Google right as soon as we broke that 45 EMA and that sell side ATR. It was a little bit of a slower mover. We weren't getting the sell-off that we expected. Like, the Qs were selling off pretty quickly, as well as Amazon, as well as some more of the tech market was selling off a lot more quickly. I was anticipating Google, because Google obviously has a little bit more selling pressure. They performed decently, but now sellers are starting to step in. So we gained a little bit on that one. That was a smaller trade. And then later in the day, we had Tesla just around 11 o'clock in the morning, 11:10. We hit a double top, if not a triple top, on the 5-minute time frame. We went back up, and me and Fit have talked about this at length. On the larger time frame, we expected Tesla to hit that 200 to 205 average price. We've hit that. We hit 203.20 at the highs. We saw a lot of resistance around that 203 area. As soon as we came back up, we bounced off the 45 EMA. We came back up to retest that 203.20 area, and we started seeing some more selling pressure, a little bit more consolidation, not as many buyers stepping in. So we waited patiently. Again, we want to see a little bit more confluence of before we jump into our trades. So we waited to see if we would pull back down and hold that 45 EMA, or if we were going to finally get that breakthrough and selling pressure was going to step in. And that's exactly what we got. We got that selling pressure through that 45 EMA, which was great. We were able to take puts at $200, about 200.75, 200.65 is where we took our puts. We ended up riding these all the way down to 197.50. That's where we started seeing some consolidation just under that 200 moving average. That's where we collected most of our position, and then it went further down. It went down to 195.50, and then started moving back up, and we took the rest profit. But those were two of the main puts that we took Friday, which went absolutely crazy. We were able to catch those. The Google puts hit just over 50%. The Tesla puts were over 130%. So those were the two trades on Friday, and we were able to end the week off on a strong note.
Dope. That is awesome. So yeah, those plays look really good, and that's something that we actually talked about, and something we had great education on is what I wanted to talk about in our last part of the week in review. So we had great education on neckline breaks and in double tops, and neckline breaks in cup and handles and head and shoulders. And as you saw on Tesla here, we see that we form that double top. We get a neckline break here. a pretty strong neckline break, and then we get that move to the downside, and that's something that we talked about during the week. So moving forward, earnings last week was pretty eventful, especially for a week with just a few stocks reporting earnings. So number one, we had Nike. Nike reported on Friday, and the stock dropped 25%. So Jim Duffy, an analyst at Stifel, said in a research note Thursday that Nike was asking investors to place their faith in newer and unproven sneaker and clothing styles amid wobbly demand. And this was straining confidence in the company's leadership in the process. So it's like you're telling investors, oh, just hold on. I promise you, we're gonna do great, when you're already underperforming with your new product. So a little scary on Nike. A 25% drop is pretty dramatic, especially for a blue chip, large company, American icon like Nike. So that's something to look out for. FedEx beat on EPS and also beat on revenue, and it ended up gapping over 12%. FedEx made a huge move this week. And then we also have MU. So MU had a lot of price target increases by analysts. It also beat earnings, and forecast on fourth quarter was weaker than expected from investors there. And one of the biggest losses is alongside Nike was Walgreens. So WBA, Walgreens missed on EPS. They beat revenue, but they tanked almost 40% to 27-year lows. So Walgreens is now trading at $11 per share. It's expected to close 25% of stores, and they also lowered guidance. Another crazy thing is that Boots Alliance, so the British half of Walgreens, the Boots chief is quitting, and he's expected to completely leave the company in November, and he's already got his sights elsewhere. So little scary sights here on Walgreens, one of the top two chain pharmacies in the United States, CVS and Walgreens. And Walgreens, it looks like it is on its way out. So yikes. Pushing forward. So in terms of economic data this week, so we had GDP that came in unchanged. Core PCE came in as expected, and jobless claims came in a little bit lower, just month over month. But more people signed up for benefits collection since 2021. Now, is this good or is this bad? Well, we can kind of look at it both ways. Is it good? Well, it could be good because it kind of seems as if less people are having jobs, so we're getting more unemployment, which would mean that there's going to be less money in circulation. Or is it bad? Is it bad that we're still giving out these benefits and people are just not wanting to work, so they're not filing for unemployment, but or they're rather still having this money come in and spending even more? So what does it mean? Right now, we kind of don't know. Everything is unchanged. So it's not too much negatives in terms of economic data. Everything coming in as expected is a good sign for the economy and also for investors. We did see how Treasury yields started to go down again, which will drive the market up. And that's what we kind of saw on Thursday and Friday. The market started to drive up just a little bit after big money dumped their money in tech. So in relation to this, we have related news and buzz. So at the end of the second quarter, which is the first half of the year, and we're kind of having this rotation. So we're rotating from tech over to small cap, okay, to the small cap sector. And keeping it going with some of our news. So we have Amazon. Amazon is planning for a channel that has low-cost goods and they also made a $72 million investment in an Indian payment business to take on Google Pay. Amazon also had price increases on Thursday, causing the stock to go crazy. So just in 2 days, Amazon was up almost $20, which is unheard of for this stock. Amazon typically moves at an average daily range of about $1.50 to $2. So a $20 move is massive, massive. And then moving forward, so again, investors were pouring a large amount of money into tech last week, and then this week it all was dumping. So Nvidia had $500 million in market cap wiped out just in the first half of the week, and then it's kind of fluctuating as billions and billions in market cap can go up and go down just from these $1 swings now since Nvidia had its $10 split. Avgo, we talked about Avgo. Avgo looks like it is going to make a move back to the upside. Last week, we thought that it was going to be doing a gap fill. So if we take a look at Avgo here, it looked like it was going to be doing a gap fill on the daily time frame. However, we had buyers step in, and they came in pretty strong, trying to hold Avgo right here at what looks like to be a Fibonacci retracement to the golden pocket. Okay, so it looks like we had a Fibonacci retracement to the golden pocket. We're holding strong. It looks like we're going to be ripping back to the upside. Kind of made a similar move here on the retrace, bounce off of the 50, push back to the upside, and it looks like we're accumulating here on Avgo. And then moving forward, taking a look at SPY in the weeks ahead. Currently, SPY looks like it is making somewhat of a double top. And what we talk about with double tops is that we look for the neckline break. So currently we have a neckline here at about 542.58 at this white line. So that's going to be the break that we're going to be looking for. If we get a clean break below that, we may see a move downward for a gap fill on SPY. However, we're holding on to the 9MA, and it looks like we have buyers stepping in with that bottom side wick. So we could continue to rally to the upside, especially with a fresh start to the second half of the year. And it is July, which is summertime, where we tend to do pretty well. And then K5, if you wanted to jump in, talk about the Qs or anything else you're looking at as well in the weeks ahead.
Yeah, mainly just talking a little bit about the Qs here. We've talked about this for about a week or two now. We talked about how the market was super overbought. We've ripped up the past couple of months. We've had a lot of buying pressure. That buying pressure has to be. There's going to be sellers starting to step in, and again, we're kind of on repeat here from last week. I'm not expecting us to go into a bear market. I'm not expecting us to sell completely off. These pullbacks that we're going to have are going to be healthy. It's for people to sell their shares or share their investments and get in at a lower price. There's a lot of people purchasing up at these higher prices that may start to sell a little more and want to get a better price per share. So we're going to see, especially in the tech market, somewhat of a small sell-off, possibly into a consolidation area, and then we'll retouch those highs and probably move past them over the next couple of months. But especially as we're moving into the later months where we could see rate cuts, I want to anticipate a move towards that pullback, and then as we start to get more realistic on the rate cuts and we start seeing more confidence in the rate cuts, that's when we'll start to move back up towards those highs and probably make all-time highs again here in the next couple of months, if not sooner than that. You know how the market is. People are very optimistic all the time, especially Chair Powell. Once he sees good news, he's going to reflect that good news and people are going to start buying again. So again, we're just waiting for that healthy pullback, re-enter, go long, and we'll retest those highs.
You bet. And then this week, in terms of earnings, we don't really have earnings this week. It's like the end of the earnings season pretty much. So nothing to note. And then in terms of economic data, we have Monday ISM manufacturing. Tuesday we have job openings. And Powell is speaking, Jerome Powell, Fed chair, is speaking in Portugal. And a lot of people always kind of ask the question like, oh, well, what is he going to say? Is it going to affect the markets? There's not really going to be anything of note that's going to affect the markets. Powell, when he speaks elsewhere besides FOMC or Fed meetings, he likes to just kind of repeat or reiterate what he's already said. So he understands that what he says holds a lot of weight and can affect the markets pretty dramatically. So he's very careful in terms of what he says. So nothing serious there, but in terms of job openings, we're always looking at that to get an idea of what the Fed's next rate decision will be. And then on Wednesday we also have initial jobless claims. And Thursday is Independence Day. It is the 4th of July. The markets are closed. And then Friday, we are back at it with the unemployment rate. And then this week on watch, we have AMD. AMD's been consolidating for quite a while, accumulating down at the $160 level. It's given investors quite a scare a couple times, moving down to 154, but it looks like it's ready to rip to the upside. And then again, we talked about SPY. We talked about Tesla moving up to that $200 level. It looks like it's going to be flying from here. In my opinion, it has room to 226 pretty quickly. And then Amazon is going to look for a new support at 190 that used to be resistance at highs. But that's going to be the new support that we're going to be looking for. And then we also are looking at snow. We're currently in snow on snow plays at what looks like to be the low. Looks like it's making a nice move back to the upside. So yeah, that's pretty much all we had for you guys today. Anything else, K5, to wrap us up?
No, just be prepared for this week. We got a lot of good news, like good positive news in the market the past couple of times. So watch for that. Watch to see, because it'll definitely affect how the Fed plays these rate cuts. So that's a big part of where the stock market is going to start moving. So watch out for those and pay attention.
Awesome. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. Stay fit physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, and let's get some big gains this week. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all have a good one.